what we're talking about today is, what is my unique gift? And I don't know about you, Deb, but when people come or drawn to working with me, that's such the underlying question is, what's my purpose and what's my unique gift? Because it's so often said, I know I say it all the time, that each one of us has our own unique gift, that we as spiritual beings are called upon to come and bring to light and share with the world. But where does this take you?
I think the thing here is there's two things. I can tell Moira what her unique gifts are because I can tell her, and I can tell anybody, but yes, they have to find them themselves.
Debz is a stressologist. She will stretch your mindset to think bigger than you've ever thought before, with follow-through techniques that are realistic and achievable to blow any fear out of your mind. Moira is a mindset cultivator. She will help you align your personal trinity of self-trust, inner awareness, and self-confidence so that you discover and share your unique gifts and purpose. Together, their goal with these conversations is to share how our inclinations do not always work in our best interest and to provide the knowledge to leverage the gifts that already exist within each one of us. Their desire is to help you learn how to access the habits and behaviors that will lead to positive change and your best quality of life. Welcome to your deliciously motivated mindset.
Hello, dear Deb, and dear listeners. Hello, hello, hello. Here we are.
Hello, 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 hello.
Here we are, dear listeners. Debz and Moira. That's Debz over there, and this is Moira with their deliciously motivated mindset conversations. Today's going to be a really good one. I think this one is one that lots of people dance with and question and wonder and ruminate and ask us questions about. But of course, and we're going to tell you this right away, that it's a goodie, because it would have to be, because otherwise we just wouldn't have this conversation.
We just wouldn't be doing it.
No.
But this is a goodie. I mean, I do know I say this is a goodie because they are good, but this one actually comes up so much.
It really does, doesn't it?
People inquire, you know, they're like, oh, can you show me?
Yes.
What's my purpose? What's my thing? Where am I going? And it's like, yeah, I don't have that crystal ball, but what is my unique gift? Yeah, this is a goodie. Like, I'll be quiet. Go.
So, dear listeners, if you've listened to us before, you will know that we rate ourselves on a scale of 0 to 10. And if you haven't listened to us before, welcome. And this rating ourselves on a scale of 0 to 10 is just a little bit of a check-in. And Deb's sighing because she realizes that I just realized her in a moment. So the thing is that it's a tool, an assessment tool for loving kindness to yourself, to check in and see how are you feeling, how's your mindset. And we use a scale of 0 to 10. At 0, it's like calm, blissful, peaced out, zen. And then all the numbers up to 10 can be increasing intensity. And then at 10, you're kind of discombobulated, stuck, chaotic.
I love the way you go increasing intensity. Yeah. To boom!
I'm stuck.
And you can go beyond a 10. There has been moments I've gone beyond a 10.
I know, I've been beyond a 10. Yep. Actually, fairly recently, I can think of times where I was way beyond a 10.
I think my partner was beyond a 10 before we started this morning.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So that's the thing. And sometimes we move up and down these scales so quickly. And oftentimes it's just literally having the awareness of, yep, I'm right there. And then you can put your hand over your heart and you can breathe and you can self-soothe. And that's why it's a management assessment tool. So what we invite you to do is to get a pen and paper, or a pencil and paper, to write notes, because we love to dish out tips as we go through these conversations, but also to write down where you are now And then at our halfway point, I encourage you to check in again. Did it shift up or down? And then at the end of the conversation, we will do a check-in again to just see. Of course, the intention of our conversations always is to move you closer to zero. So all that being said,
I just wrote my number down.
oh, yay. Where are you, my dear?
I am a 1.5.
Good.
Because I feel there's a little bit of stuff going on around me, but I'm quite inspired about today's talk.
Yes.
But I also feel I feel a lot of warmth over my body. So that's why I've gone a 1.5 over a 2.5, because there is a lot of head spinning. So head spinning, not Beetlejuice head spinning, but there's definitely some stuff going on. But I do feel this is a great topic.
I know. I'm really excited for our conversation. And to be honest with you, I'm at a 1.5 also. I am at a 1.5 because I've just recently stepped into a coaching program on me. People like Debz and myself, we have to do our work too. And so I'm super excited because this coaching program that I'm in that started this past week and for the next 6 months, it's all around the topic of our conversation today.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yes, it is. What is my unique gift? And so
I just had an aha moment. Yeah. I was like, that's exactly what my 12-month mentoring is about. What is there in building from that and taking it and leveraging from every branch you can on that tree.
Well, isn't that, don't you love synchronicity?
Well, I just went from a 1.5 to a 1.
Just like that. And see, listeners, that's how quickly you can move. It's just something just lands and you change your awareness and something shifts.
A little goosies.
Perspective shifts. So what we're talking about today is, what is my unique gift? And I don't know about you, Deb, but when people come or drawn to working with me, that's such the underlying question is, what's my purpose? And what's my unique gift? Because it's so often said, I know I say it all the time, that each one of us has our own unique gift, that we as spiritual beings are called upon to come and bring to light and share with the world. But where does this take you?
I think the thing here is there's two things. I can tell Moira what her unique gifts are because I can tell her, and I can tell anybody, but they have to find them themselves.
That's right.
And I think that's the other thing, because one of Moira's beautiful unique gifts is the way she holds energy and space and her voice. You know, I know when I talk to Moira, I know on that Tuesday morning, her Monday night, is that I know no matter what's going on in my world, the moment I get on that call with Moira, I hear her voice and it just calms most things down, pretty much everything. I'm not going to say everything. I don't give it too much of a big head, but most things right down. And that is just one of her gifts. Now, I can tell her that, and she can hear that from people 100 times in a day, but unless her soul and her heart feels it, that's the difference there, because it's actually up to Moira to go, I know what my unique gifts are. Right. And when you know that, because when you know what your unique gift, you delegate everything else that's not inspiring. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, well said. It's very true. Because that is the purpose of your life. Is, I've said this before, I think that the underlying theme of all of our life purposes is to know thyself.
Yeah. To know thyself.
To know thyself. But you see, that means knowing and loving all your quirkiness, all your peccadillos, all the things that you love to do. Because you know, and I know this in myself, that my unique gifts, when I'm using my unique gifts, I don't even have any head awareness of what I'm doing, because I'm just in it. I'm just in the flow, in the zone, and being me.
Yeah.
And that's when I know that I've done it, right? I've aligned with it.
And you're not questioning, and you're not getting it. Oh, there's a little thing here. Oh, did I do right? Did I do wrong? Do I go left? Do I go right?
that knowing. It is a knowing.
Hamster. Yeah, you're on the hamster wheel and you're going round and round and round and round. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm turning left. I don't know if I'm turning right. That's, your unique gift is straight away
It's
done.
straight away, but for me, it's like, this is me following my common sense, and but it's easy. And then I realize it's not easy, because not everybody can hold space the way I do. Not everybody uses their voice in the healing work that I do. And just as I say that, I hear Deb's dog barking in the background.
So did I.
Just their voice.
Ran across the front and went bark, bark, bark. And I went, yes, we all know what your unique gift is. And that's to make everybody stop and get present.
Yes,
that's our little one. But I mean, I think the thing is we can he's just gonna have his voice.
He just wants his voice.
Yeah. We can have our opinion so strong on certain things, but our heart is our greatest decision maker, because when you make that decision, it just sits right, and then your head goes, hang on, are you sure?
Yeah.
Things that have been going on in the past, and there's this and this and this,
right.
But your heart made that very first, which is your intuition, your soul's guidance, whatever you want to label it. I don't really care what you label it, but your answers straight away, that's it there. And then it says, oh, but what if this happens? And what if this happens? And they're all the fear and the old stories and all that come in. And I love that, you said to know that myself, or thyself, I think
I did say thyself.
Thyself, yeah. I wrote myself down. It's actually thyself, because I went, actually, it's not that. Thyself.
It's thyself. THY self.
Yeah. Once you know that, that's a beautiful space to be. And when you go from a 0 to a 10, we talked about our testing at the start. When you go from a 10, you're actually out of knowing thyself again.
Yes.
Because chaos has come in, and you've allowed that chaos, and it's taken you to that rocking in the corner space.
Yeah, feeling stuck and not having the answer, etc.
Yeah, and that is just there's nothing wrong with being a 10. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you're sitting in that, oh, this feels right. Of course that happened to me because of that. Oh, now that explains it. And shame and guilt, yet again, comes into the play. But your unique gift, you hear people say, stay in your zone of genius.
Yes.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Keep in your lane, and all those things. That's exactly it. Because when we go to Moira, if I said to Moira, what did you do when you were growing up? What is the thing you did growing up? And then when you were 20 years old, and then when you were 30 years old, and then when you're 40 years old, and where you are now, what are those things? And everything that I would guarantee everything that Moira has done from growing up has been the same thing. It's just been in the same unique gift, but just in a different form.
Absolutely. And so it's the theme, and every one of us has it.
Absolutely.
That theme. And that's what I'm saying to you. It's that thing that you do that nobody else does it like you do, and it can be done in any environment, in any set of circumstances. It's like your go-to reaction or way of doing something. But something I wanted to circle back on, Deb, was I loved what you said about once you get clear on what your unique gift is, farm out other things, outsource everything else. But it's like saying, let's say your unique gift is baking beautiful cakes.
Oh. Not me. That's not my unique gift. Okay. I don't mean I love people to make beautiful cakes.
I can make a good cake.
You make a good. What did you say you made a good something the other night? And I was like, oh, I'm going to come to Canada just for that.
Curry. I made a curry.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
I made a curry from scratch. That was my husband.
2 curries actually. She
That's
made
right.
2.
I did.
And then she had leftovers, and she told me all about it. And I was like, oh, that's worth going to Canada for. I can't make a curry. I'd rather buy a curry or get someone to make one for me.
That's what a lot of people do. So it's and this one was I was volunteered by my husband, who loves my curries, and we were over at his sister's, and he said, "Would you guys like a curry? Moira makes the best."
And next thing, because that's her zone, that's one of her unique gifts.
It is. Yeah.
And so you'll hear other people say she's really good at this, or he's really good at this, or da da da.
Yeah, that's actually a beautiful point to what do people tell you you're really good at? Because that's a wonderful clue.
Totally.
Get clue. Well, like you were saying, because for a long time I didn't have a total handle on what it is tangibly did I do for clients. And then I start watching people come back and say, oh, I always feel so peaceful after just sitting with you. Well, everything seems so much clearer after I've had a conversation with you. Right. So it's like you watch it and then oh yeah, that is what I'm doing.
And it's also what people ask you questions about.
Yes, absolutely.
To find you, people go, oh, Moira, if you had this problem, how would you do that? Or Moira, if you did this, and then next thing you know, you go, oh, I'm a genius in that.
Yeah.
And you don't even need to think about it. You can go, bang, bang, just this, do A, B, C, D. Do it in that order. It's really easy. And people go, oh, wow. And the more they say to you, you're like, oh, that's my zone of genius. That's my unique gift.
My unique gift. Yeah. And then, there are times where we do need to do things. We can't always farm out everything. But you want to keep getting
Can't
back.
we?
Sorry.
Can't we?
Well, for the most part, you can. But I'm just saying that you don't want to get lost in the weeds with doing the things that you're not good at. Or I think in another episode we were talking about relationships and staying in something too long.
Yeah.
This would kind of fall into that kind of conversation, right? Is that if you knew what your unique gift was, and it was, making curry or or doing meditations or things like that, right? And then you went and did a job where you were, I don't know, making coffee, then you could do that for a short term if it was, I'm just doing this until I get this achieved.
That's your comfort zone.
Yes.
Isn't it? That's that whole, I'll just do this so I can get some money, or I'll just do this until the right job comes up, or I'll just do this until, I have trust and faith in myself.
Which is okay. That's okay to choose those things, just so long as you are still using and acknowledging what your unique gift is. Or, something that I've said this to people before is that if a person gets really clear on what their unique gift is, and let's say their unique gift is to make people feel better about themselves, or to feel uplifted,
to give podcasts,
give podcasts. But you see, in that scenario, that person could even just be a Walmart greeter, and yet they would still be feeding and fueling that unique gift, because they can greet everybody and make people's days. And do you know what I mean? So it's not to get really stuck on using my unique gift means something that, I'm only operating at a certain level of income or a certain type of job, because it's by getting clear on what your unique gift is that allows you to really come into your own heart energy, right? Yeah.
And I think once you know what your unique gift is, and I would say to people, what did you do when you were 10 years old? What did you love to do? What did you love to do when you were 20 years old? For me, my vision was to grow up and be a policewoman. Always wanted to be a policewoman. And then that didn't work out. And so but why did I want to be a policewoman? Because I wanted to have authority. I can see let's just unpack it. There was definitely that. People would look up to me, I believed. So when you're 10, you think everybody looks up to the police. Now it's not so much.
Not so much.
Because you open your eyes fully. And what was the other thing is just to help people.
Right.
Help people and show them that it's not that bad after all. And so if I looked at that at 10 years old, I go, oh, this is what I do now.
That's really cool, because it also backs up what you were saying earlier about when we know what our gift is, it's been following us the whole time.
It has. You can't, that stray dog's following you all the way until you go, oh, you're not a stray dog, you're actually part of me now.
I can
see that.
No, and it's funny that you say that, because for me, even at age 5, I swear, all I wanted to do is be a nurse.
Oh.
And it didn't work out for me either, but it's
You so are.
I know. It's being the healer, showing kindness, helping people heal themselves.
Goosey, I know, from a different perception.
Different perspective. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, I say I'm a strategist, because I hear a problem and I go, oh, just do A, B, C, D. Like, why are you even confused with that?
We've talked about that before too.
And it's so true.
I'm a problem solver. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because I hear people, even in the supermarket, hear people say, what if this? And I'm just like, and my head answers them straight away. And then I go, move out of the aisle, Deborah. Move out of the aisle very quickly, because you're going to start having conversation. Or my partner will turn around and I'll be standing there talking to them. It's like, oh. Or my daughter goes, Mum, are you talking to people all over again? I'm like, just have a little help, just helping them a little bit. They did ask and I did happen to hear, and I'm not going to walk away. But right from, I was, a personal assistant or executive assistant or whatever, all the way through there. So you'd hear a problem, you'd solve it, hear a problem, solve it. And that was what, right from, it's always been that all the way through. I just didn't know how to label it, my unique gift, didn't know how to label it, monetize it, like, really, this is a thing. You can earn money and you can have a grand life from this. Yeah. And that's the same for you. You can earn money and have a grand life from healing people. Yeah. Like when you go back to your nurse being of 5 years old, you just, you're uncapped. Different languaging, but it's unpacking it and realizing, because like you too, in all my other career choices and pieces that I navigated, I was always seen as the person who could soothe people, who could make sense out of chaos, and always the problem solver.
A quick wee message before we get back to this episode. You can get access to a special gift Moira and Debz have put together for you. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift. When you sign up, you'll receive instant access to an Inner Peace Kit and the 30 Days of Wisdom program, both of which is intended to help you feel deliciously motivated right away. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift.
So here I am, a coach and a meditation teacher and a tarot card reader. It's kind of all the things I do.
And I think so for the people, what did you want to do when you're 5? What do you do when you're 10? 20? And what have you been doing? Like, go back and have a look at that. I mean, there's definitely more to unpack that, what unique gift is. But when you get that, you just go, ping. Yes. Oh, let's get everyone to that ping moment. Did you hear that? No, you didn't hear that. That just, my computer literally just pinged.
Okay. Just confirmation.
Yeah, confirmation. Okay.
Awesome confirmation.
Yeah. So when you get that ping moment, you're like, oh, that makes sense. Yes. And then you don't have to feel like you're on the hamster wheel. Yep. This is all part of your amazing journey. Always has been, always, always will be, but it could be in different forms.
Yes. And that's why the unpacking part is really important. Like you just did with this idea about the policeman. It's like, well, yes, but there's a lot of common threads between the role of a police officer and what you're doing now, right?
Yeah. So I think, with people, listeners, write down what those things you love to do and what you're good at. Like, start writing that. And this is not oh, I got it. Oh, thanks, Moira and Deb. Yeah, I got that. This could be a process that can take you a month.
It could be. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be. But I mean, it's just what sits right for you.
What sits right. And then, and another question you could ask in this little inventory process here is, what comes easy to you?
Yeah.
Because your unique gift does. It's innately,
it's not pushed, it's not forced, it's not. Yeah. But be aware what questions people ask you, what they come to you for. And that is
say, oh, thank you so much, you did this for me, and you go, really?
Or someone goes, oh, ask Moira, just ask Moira, she'll you know, and so or ask Deb, like, then it's like that whole, oh, yes, I can. Oh my gosh, I can tell you about that. But also, so for me, I'm somebody, so I'm not a gardener. I think we talked about watering plants before, didn't we?
Yes, I think we did.
When I said I just used to fill the bath, just fill the bath, drown them all, and then they'd all come back alive. And I go, okay, yay, they all died and then they came back. Just a standard pattern. But I'm not a gardener. So when people start talking to me about gardening and they start talking to me about things, I switch off. I don't want to take that stuff in my head. It doesn't interest me to take it in my head.
Do you sing songs in your head?
Oh yeah, I just like, I can't hear that. You know, I change their analogy of, oh, you've got some weeds here, and I go, oh, in my mind, human behavior, I switch to straight to, oh yeah, that's why I talk about weeds and flowers, because there's my gardening part. I get that, you know, plant more of the flowers and pull the weeds out when, you know, bit by bit, and don't let the weeds overcome you, you know, talk about that. So this is my gardening part. But we have this amazing gardener, and she just loves to talk gardening. Now she knows, she starts talking and her whole face lights up.
There's her zone of genius.
And then she just goes, oh, okay, I got it. And she'll just look at me and she'll go, I got it. Okay, I'll be quiet. I'm like, no, you can talk. I'm just not going to listen. It's fine. You can talk. But when she leaves, she does our garden. When she leaves, you can see the love. She loves gardening. She is so excited about coming to our house. She is so excited about gardening. And I just go, oh my God, I just want it. Can someone pick the veggies for me? I'm not even going to walk down 10 steps to pick the veggies. Like, pick the veggies. Like food. Yeah. But she loves it. And you can see this is her unique gift. She says, oh, if you planted this in this area here, the soil is it's got so much moisture, and the way you've got the sun coming in here and during winter, and I'm just like, oh my God, what? Just plant it.
Yep.
But that is her unique gift.
It's all gobbledygook to me anyway.
Yeah. But she lights up when she talks about it.
Yeah.
So be aware of your body. When you feel yourself talking about something and your shoulders go back and you're animated, and just like I'm talking now, you can
lifted,
feel it. Yeah, that's like as soon as we just knew she was the one. But
what a beautiful gift to have somebody like that. Because the gift for you is this gorgeous garden.
I know, and she just loves it. Like she'll message me, and before she comes 2 days before, she'll go, oh, you wouldn't believe it, I've got a bargain. I found these seedlings, or I found this thing. I'm going to hold them here for a couple of weeks. I'm going to start growing them before I come and plant them. Is that all right with you? And I'm like, yeah, totally.
Why are you asking this question?
Like, just plant. You know the type of person I am. Just plant. I like all foods. I like all veggies. Just go for it. Just go for ease. But don't be afraid of letting people go around you who aren't like that. Because if she's somebody who comes to me because she can see, oh, here's a garden, it's a blank canvas, I can do whatever I want, I don't really care, you know, and her energy's not like that, and it's not her unique gift. Because I think anything in the garden, the way she lights up, that's a unique gift.
Yeah,
like it's not just a gift, that's a unique gift, because not everyone's like that. So don't be afraid of letting those half-handed people or half energy people go if they're around you. Yep. If you're going for what you would like as a higher level of someone to do your garden, then get that person. And it's okay to let 3 or 4 gardeners go before you get that person, because this is down to you, what works for you.
Right. Don't you think that you're more likely to attract the specialists and the people who have the zone of genius, like this gardener, because you are in yours?
Absolutely.
Right? Because it's by us walking our talk. It's by us getting into, yes, this is what lights me up. This is.
We had the same conversation last night, literally, because we were talking about moving house, and we said, oh, we're going to lose the gardener.
Oh no.
And my partner went, what if we paid for her to come to our new place? Like, and I'm like, no, I think we'll get an even better one. And my partner was like, an even better garden than what we've got. I said, yeah, I think we will. And
energetically, yeah.
That's exactly. So I just had to interrupt you to say that's exactly what we're like. Oh my God, we're going to lose a gardener. We don't want to lose a gardener. The gardener's it's beautiful.
Right,
but
right.
you're right.
Yeah.
And we were like, maybe we could pay her all this money to drive to our new, but yeah. But that's exactly it, because we are putting that energy out.
Exactly. And so therefore, and that's what, to your point, that's what made me think of that, is that you're saying, don't be nervous or scared of letting something go that's not
Fearful.
that. Yeah, that's not in that. Wow, they're really good at doing that.
So, and that's the same thing. If this podcast is not hitting your spot, stop listening.
Yeah.
Like, do yourself a favor.
Truly.
Stop listening. Yeah. Message us and say, I don't like it, or I liked it, or I didn't like it. Like, that's okay.
Or I wish you'd talk about something else. Yeah.
I'm still going to sleep at night, and I take on all feedback, uplifting or deflating, because it is just feedback, and it's how my emotions are, my PEMs on that day of what feedback I take in. But that's exactly it. It's about your energy. And so I'm going to put out a certain kind of energy, and that's what I'm going to vibrate at, that people are going to pick up. So yes, absolutely, Moira, you do get those people around because of
you
what you put
walking to the beat of your own uniqueness, and owning it.
And not being desperate. Oh, we need to get a gardener. I need to get a gardener. I need to do this. They need to be better than the last person. The moment you're in desperation, jack shite happens. Well, actually, shite happens, as in nothing happens, but shite.
but remember, and this is funny because we've talked about this before, is that, so if you find yourself in desperation, it's time to hit pause. Put your hand over your heart, take some nice deep breaths, even deeper, and look at, how can I now get into inspiration?
Yeah.
Desperation is a tap. It's a tap to say, wait a minute, you've actually circled the drain a little bit, and you're starting to go down.
Desperation is the weeds are overflowing.
Yes, it's time to come back into that inspired way of being. And we get there way quicker when we recognize what our unique gifts are.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like, oh, wait a minute, I'm just going to put my awareness back over here because it lights me up. And it lights other people up when I'm sharing from this type of space, right?
And sometimes we can't label, what is it?
Yeah.
And that's when you get on that hamster wheel or that desperation. What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? You know, and I talked to an amazing woman last year, and we were talking about doing a new social media group and everything. And she said, what, tell me about yourself. So I just told her some stuff, and she says, oh, you're a peak performance mindset coach. And I went, am I? And I'd never labeled it like that. But that's exactly it, because I'm a strategist, I'm a stressologist, you know, and it's taking people to their peak performance. And I was like, oh, okay. So I actually think we called it peak performance. I don't even know what we called it. I think it's called peak performance mindset. I think so. But it is peak performance something. It's peak performance something. But she just put a label on it, and I went, oh, is that what it is? And then I went, actually, you're right. And she explained, but you said this, and that's a peak performance, and you said this, and this is peak performance. And so it was so great to have somebody from an outside going, oh, that's what I see. And I'm like, oh, yeah, of course. And going back to the police, wanting to be a policeman, get the peak performance out of everybody, get the best out of everybody around. And I'm like, oh, but it's just a label. At the end of the day, it's just a label. But that label went, oh, that makes sense now that you've explained that to me. And so people like Moira and I can listen to what you're saying. So don't feel like you can't. You get on that hamster wheel and go round and round and round. But we can actually go, oh, this is, if you were to label it, this is what it is. And they're like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. And that sometimes labels are a great way to embody and embrace the energy. So absolutely, it's about listening and then following the thread of what that is. It's about following the intuitive guidance that's actually always there.
It's always there.
It is always there. It's just that, particularly in the Western world, we are not taught how to feel into this, how to notice those body sensations, those little aha moments, those when your heart goes skipping, and those are all pieces of your unique gift trying to speak through to you. Right?
So I was just thinking, I'm sure we've talked about this before, maybe on or off here, but our school reports, my school report, could listen more, talks too much, and any coach or any person who has a podcast, I guarantee they've probably always had that all through their school, their teachers' reports, talks too much, doesn't sit still, thinks too quickly, asks too many questions, and if go back to those reports and read them. If you're a little bit, go back and read and go, oh, I used to talk too much, of course, because I love talking, I'm a speaker, or right. Whatever it is, or has empathy, spends too much time trying to fix the others in the classroom, overdoing their own work, or is a distraction and is now a top comedian. Go back to those things that you're not going to amount to anything. Really,
That's
I'll
funny.
show you.
That's
but
funny.
Also breaks out and sings too much in class, and they're a singer. Or moves too much in their seat, they're a dancer. Like, go back to that stuff, and that's what's been around right from.
That's hilarious that you say that, because do you want to know what was on my report card? All that?
What, she was too quiet? No,
I was too quiet, but I was a daydreamer.
Oh,
yeah. And so think about I'm a daydreamer. Well, I do guided visualization all the time.
Oh my! I'm covered in the gooses. That's so. Yeah. So thanks a lot is I think before I speak.
Yeah.
And I'm just putting it all together. Oh my God. Yeah. But well, of course there's no. I'm going. Oh my God. There's no mistake that happens, because I know that's what happens. Like, that's a daydreamer. What do I do? I teach visualizations.
Yeah.
And I know how to monetize it, teacher.
Yes. Thank you very much.
And continue doing it and delegate all the other stuff. But that's so true. That is part of your unique gift, right from, and teachers get it wrong.
Yes, absolutely. Teachers that aren't willing to, unfortunately, the way that
aren't a gardener
system,
I was going to say, aren't a gardener like my gardener, like loves teaching. You've got those ones in there.
Yeah. But not all teachers had the space and time to sort of invest in getting to know their students well enough to be able to give meaningful feedback like that, other than
I literally put my daughter I put my daughter into a school that was the most they had in their class was 18.
Oh, nice.
And I put her into a school because of that purpose, because that's our numbers were getting up to mid-30s in a class, and you think 7-year-olds, and one teacher has to teach 35 children with different personalities, and different unique gifts. I don't know how teachers do it, but those teachers, school teachers. But I mean, I think that's the part of it there is that unique gift. Go back and have a look at that stuff.
Yeah. And that can be the beginning to then start seeing as what's the common thread.
That common thread is there. I guarantee that common thread is there all the way through.
Yeah, it may not be literal, but it may be a wee bit like what you were saying about policemen. Who'd have thought that it meant coming to where you are, but then when you follow the thread, it totally makes sense, right?
Yeah, so not in the form that I thought it was going to be in.
Yeah, so you just got to fire your thinking mind when you get into this process.
But that's where Moira and I come handy.
Right. That's right. That is our unique gift.
So we are conscious of our time, because unique gifts, we talk. If there's, in wrapping this up, Moira, is there anything you'd like to say in closing this off?
Just for anybody who is questioning or not believing that they have a unique gift, fire that chatter. Stop listening to that story and see if you can follow some of the tips that we've just talked about looking at what did you like to do when you were a kid? What did you like to do when you're a teenager and in your 20s? And see what are the things that lit you up? What are the things that you did and people said, oh, wow, that's amazing. I can't believe somebody can do that so easy. And you just go, what, that?
That's exactly it. Yeah. What, that? I didn't even need to think. Like,
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
These are all intel to help you land into what is your unique gift. And of course, if you need some support or more tips and ideas, we're here for you. Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's a beautiful one. And so we are just going to help assist you in leveraging that gift.
Yep.
And to know thyself.
To know thyself. Absolutely.
Moira said. So we would love to know what you loved about today, what you didn't love about today. You can do that publicly or not. Whatever works for you. I love today. Oh,
Me too.
now we're going to do our rating.
Yes, we do.
So at the start, we rated ourselves 0 to 10. Wherever you were, halfway you did the same thing. And well, I was a 1.5. Were you the same as me?
Yeah, we were both 1.5.
We're both 1.5. So where would you be, Moira? Let me just use my telepathic ways. I think she's going to say 0. But where would you be, Moira?
Telepathically, you are correct.
Yeah.
I'm at a 0, and I'd kind of wager that that's where you are.
I would say, yes, you're correct. What a beautiful podcast today, I think.
I really enjoyed this, and I really hope that it helped people wake up to the fact that you got your unique gifts and you're using them. Acknowledge them, pat yourself on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because I've shared so much about my gardener, I'm actually going to send her a text message just to say I appreciate her. Just to pass that little thing on to her, because I think she's
excellent idea.
Yeah. So thank you, everybody. I'm definitely 0. We're both 0. So let us know your numbers, how they jumped, and we trust that you got some magnificent insight into today. And we will see you, you will hear us on the next podcast.
Next time, right? All right.
Thank you,
dear Deb. Thank you very much. Thank you, listeners.
Thanks. Bye.